So in this property, we have dampness on timber around a hearth underneath a fire, by a fire. It's very unusual to find it in the timber here, and it suggests that there may be some rot in the subfloor void. There's also dampness on the side of the chimney breast. There's no other dampness. Now, an interesting clue as to what's happening is looking outside, and those dots tell me that there's been some damp proofing in the past. Now we're going to look under the subfloor voids. I won't make many comments because I actually don't see much in the way of rot, and I don't smell much rot. At least dry rot has a very distinctive smell, like mushrooms. You also tend to see a lot of red rust-coloured spores, and I'm not seeing any of that. Now, there may be some rot, but if there is any rot, it's likely to be cellar rot and possibly wood weevil, but it's not fast growing and it's not nearly as dangerous. So one of the first things I'll do is check to see if there's a water leak. And actually, in this case, I did find a leak, and you can see a very slow turn of the central dial.
Put the video on.
That tells me that water is dropping out. It's probably dropping at roughly a drop every second. What I do is I isolate off the internal stopcock, so it's now just a section under the timber floor, and it's still turning as quickly as before.
That's still turning.
Is it okay?
So have a listen to the survey and see what we discuss.
Yeah.
Here. I'll have a look outside as well.
So the dampness is showing on the floor here, on the timber, and the concern is there a possibility of rot? I've looked under the floorboards and it looks fine, but there is a risk. And there's dampness there on the chimney breast. So I'll just use a simple damp meter that anyone can buy, and it's useful to just log the 100% is at about it's about 800, 700 mil. You'll probably find it on other walls. Actually, so that's the damp proof wall. Well, you know, it's obscuring anyway the dampness. It's 800, damp there, and sorry about that. Just looking in here. Right there, and then we're seeing some more damp under on the timber floor there. That's damp. So I've got one is obviously not working properly. So that's showing high humidity in the subfloor. It's not massively high. We'll keep an eye on that. So this is looking in the drain, which feels a bit blocked, but
I tested it and it was fine.
Best to pour water in to see whether it flows away. It needs to have water.
So I looked in under the manhole and it's very deep under the ground, so it's unlikely to be causing anything. There are no signs of cracking to the drain, but you know, it's one thing to consider. What's important is to have the ventilation open as much as possible, so you're getting subfloor ventilation flowing through. But of course, you still need to deal with the root cause, which is the leak.
The biggest risk to dampen properties is to rot in the subfloor void, suspended timber floor. If rot starts to affect the timber, it can disintegrate, and you know there's a health and safety issue. So what you have here is dampness around the timber and around the fireplace, the hearth, and around the sides of the chimney breast. You don't have it on most of the walls. They have been damp proofed, which reduces the risk of water from the subfloor rising, but the problem is it's hiding the problem, it's not dealing with the root cause. In this case, it appears to be a leak, and it may have been going on for a long time, and it may have only just been picked up because of some changes, small changes such as airflow, such as, you know, we move the old chimney breast along the wall. The reduced airflow can affect the amount of vapour in the floor. So the good news is I've had a look under the floor and I can't see signs of rot.
Okay.
That's not to say that there couldn't be, but I can normally smell dry rot, and that's the one to be most worried about. There are no spores, no smell. You get a mushroomy smell. It's very distinctive.
Okay.
You don't have that. So I think at the moment it's largely decorative, but it does need to be dealt with. And I think the only way of doing that is by replacing the mains water from the outside stopcock to the inside.
Okay.
It is possible that loss of that turning of the dial is caused by damage to the stopcock. So you've got every right to ask Thames Water to investigate it. But the legal responsibility, your legal responsibility, starts from your property boundary, which is just this side of the water meter.
Okay.
So it's largely superficial, but there is a risk of rot, and that's the benefit of having strip flooring is that and gaps is that you will get some airflow, even though it doesn't seem like a lot of airflow, but across the whole floor it's actually reasonable. You've got gaps around here, and I would encourage you to measure the subfloor humidity, relative humidity. So those are things. I'll put it in video and send you a report.
Okay.